George Archer's record ranks him as one of golf's most successful players, competing at the highest levels of his sport over 5 different decades. His 1969 Masters win, his 11 other PGA Tour wins, his PGA National Team Championship, and his 46 wins around the world came at a time when his tour competitors were giants like Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Lee Trevino. George Archer learned the game by caddying at the Peninsula Golf and Country Club in San Mateo, California, playing on the local munis and putting for quarters on the practice greens at San Francisco's Lincoln Park. George always attributed his success as one of the best putters on tour to putting for quarters on slow muni greens hour after hour. George held a PGA record for a time for fewest putts over 4 rounds at 95 putts. But George's most severe challenge in life might not have been on the golf course. George lived his life with a painful secret. George couldn't read or write and lived his life functionally illiterate.
I think that George, who liked to talk a lot, would be completely speechless. I think he wouldn't have the words to describe how much it meant to him to have his family and friends in this endeavor, this adventure, where we're trying to help children overcome a problem that he was never able to overcome. I think he would be overwhelmed.
The biggest joy in my work and the most pride that I have is when I walk around the library and see children and parents reading, see them using the tools that we have here, see them working on their homework, see them with their tutors, see people in our Project Read program learning to read and getting past their fears, getting past their feeling of inadequacies and learning to read and then sharing that with their families.
Since I learned to read, I'm free. I have some freedom. When I couldn't read, I was in prison. In my own mind. You know, you have limits. Today I have no limits. I can do almost anything.
Because it builds confidence, it builds self-esteem. It allows them to come here and feel safe, because they know what the library is. So we're helping a lot of the most vulnerable population in our community with the George Archer grants that we receive.
It is estimated that 1 in every 5 students in the country is diagnosed with language differences. It is a big problem because what we're trying to do is educate not only our students but also our parents about the need to do early intervention.
We can sometimes see a child that's physically handicapped, but we can't always see a child that is challenged with their learning disability. And only professionals can diagnose and help those children with learning disabilities. And this foundation identifies and helps those children who need that learning assistance.
Armstrong is very lucky to have found Donna, or for Donna to have found us, because Donna understands the importance of helping students learn. Donna understands that when students have a low self-esteem because they can't read or they can't perform like the other kids in the classroom, it really affects the way they are going to behave for the rest of their lives.
There's a child at Chartwell School in Monterey that could use it. There's a teacher who could take special education for tutoring children. But we just need to focus here.
You know, just to see the kids that come in and sit down and utilize and use the tools, read the books that were presented to us or given to us because of the George Archer Foundation has been such a joy.
So when they transition out of Armstrong, they have those tools in place, not only their ability to read, to decode, to comprehend information, to organize themselves, but also to be able to advocate for themselves and to be able to feel that they can accomplish anything they want in life.
That will enable them to express their emotions in another format. It will enable them to tell the people whom they love that they love them. As I said, when I first met George, he didn't know how to write, "I love you." 3 simple words. By helping children learn how to read and write, you can help them to express their deepest emotions, their deepest fears. You can help them be creative. They can write stories that come from their minds that they haven't seen on television. you can take them into the world in which they should be.
Our primary fundraising effort is the golf tournament. And if you are a participant in the golf tournament, you're helping to hire a teacher, you're helping to fund a program at the library, you're helping to put a book in the hands of a child.
We are so thrilled to have them working with us to provide literacy for the children and family of San Mateo and the surrounding communities. That the programs here that they're sponsoring help children, help families, help adults.
George was very empathetic for young people who dealt with difficult issues. He felt that if it wasn't for golf, wasn't for the Peninsula Club, he would have been maybe one of those children. So he would have had this huge empathy for all that's gone on. He would have been really, really overwhelmed.
You know, to see the children that we've helped makes me feel so great. And I don't always have the personal skills, and I know some of the other people don't have the personal skills to help children individually, but the real heroes out there are the teachers and the tutors and the educators. They have the skills, and we have to give them the money to make sure that they can help the children.
If George Archer were here, I would totally ask him to come in and talk to our students about his life, about his difficult times in school. Our students at Armstrong need to hear from role models. They need to hear how hard it was for them, but despite those difficulties, George Archer was able to bounce back and be successful because he was able to recognize his strengths and talents. And that's what our kids need to hear, that they are going to be okay.
The George Archer Memorial Foundation for Literacy.
Because every child deserves to read.
To support literacy efforts, visit georgearcherfoundation.org.